Welcome to another Sunday morning conversation, everybody. Today, my guest is Matt Poff with SaySo Shades. They are what should we call it? They are sustainable sunglasses that he produces, and they're available in 7 different running stores, and they hope to expand soon. So, thanks for tuning in, everybody.
What's up?
Hey, Matt.
How are you?
Another day in the life. Yourself?
Yeah, not bad.
Are you still here? Or you're still here, or you go back to Vietnam?
No, I'm actually in Thailand.
Okay.
Until the 15th of July.
Okay. So, what are you going to do while you're there?
Well, I'm visiting some friends right now, working, basically. Yeah, just here doing my thing.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
when you're with your sunglasses, you like run, how long do you run production year round, or do you run it in like short spurts to make what you need?
Right. So we've done one production order so far to launch our brand, being a fairly new brand. But as we continue to grow, we'll do production runs a few times a year, and then based on how the business goes, we'll move accordingly. But we a lot of our styles currently are very neutral, earth friendly tones. We are working on some more brighter, vibrant colors. um, and then we're also looking at doing another frame. Obviously, like, as we scale our business and more people become fans of the product, we'll get some feedback and make necessary changes and such.
Yeah, the pair of SaySo shades that I have is not exact. It's a shade of brown that it's not the brightest.
No, it's that color is actually like a horsehair brown. If you were to look at it like on a designing scale, like when you're working with a factory, there's different color books out there and color encyclopedias, if you will. So all of our stuff is based off Pantone colors. Pantone's pretty synonymous in the design world, fashion world. So that color there is like a horsehair. Yeah, horsehair brown.
So, I mean, we talked about this. It feels like a forever ago, but what was the whole like inspiration behind the creating a pair of sunglasses? I mean, I know it was more of like was a product that fit for you at the time.
Well, not to go too far back into my background and everything and what I'm currently doing, but so I do some manufacturing stuff, make things for customers, soft goods primarily, and I was working on a sunglass order for a couple of customers, and that went fine. We found a good supplier and built a good custom sunglass. But as I was starting to do that, I really wanted to try to create a sustainable sunglass made from recycled or regenerated plastics. And that was pretty difficult because at the time, in the marketplace in the US specifically, there really wasn't or isn't or aren't many sustainable plastic sunglasses. And remember, like, plastics just is a very broad word for plastic. You've got various types of plastics, and I won't get super geeky here, that are used to make sunglasses. You've got plastics like nylon, which is what our frame platform is built off of. It's a regenerated nylon. And then you have some others as well. But nylon is a fantastic material for sunglasses. And there's some big brands out there that use a nylon or proprietary nylon in their frames. So it did take us some time to find a material that was recycled or regenerated that we could use in our frames. So it was that was kind of it. It was like there was, I think, an opportunity. There's a couple of opportunities in the sunglass world, I believe. One of them is that sustainable option for people. But the other thing is a sunglass that's economically affordable for most everyone. And having manufactured sunglasses for a few years now and understanding what goes into manufacturing sunglasses, sunglasses don't have to be expensive. And we've seen over the last even over the last 5 years, maybe even a little further back than that, that there have been some brands in the sunglass world, some new brands in the sunglass world that have shown their face that have made a product that is much more economically attainable for consumers. Now, with that being said, that's not always a good thing. Like, yes, consumers want things that cost less, but there's a fine line between costing less and being a cheap product, right? Not built well. And when we buy things that are just cheap because the price tag is cheap, but they fall apart after, a half a year, we're probably tossing those in the trash can and buying another pair. That doesn't do our planet any good. That just adds more waste to our landfills. And so we built an economically priced, sustainable sunglass with top-notch materials. Our nylon is our regenerated nylon. We work with a company called, or we use a nylon called EcoNyl, which is refined from fishing nets, recycled carpets, factory remnants, fabrics, nylon pieces that are cut during manufacturing process. And all that stuff is refined in Italy, and we then make our sunglasses out of it. But we also invested in our lenses. So a lot of the economically priced sunglasses on the market today in the last 5 years use a newer lens technology that has made manufacturing polarized lenses a lot cheaper. And those lenses are the acronym is TAC, triacetate cellulose, and essentially they layer plastic on top of each other. That's how they create the lens, and it's impact resistant. They can put a polarized filter in it, but its durability, it just doesn't last that long. And so we shifted, and we're using a polycarbonate lens in our sunglasses, which is really the industry standard. If you're going to buy, if you're going to spend $100+ on a pair of sunglasses, you better hope they at least have a polycarbonate lens. So that was kind of the reason why we chose this path. We wanted to create something that was affordable for almost everybody, and something that was going to be better for the environment. When our sunglasses were out, we're a fairly new brand, so we're not going through this yet, and hopefully it'll be a few years. But when our sunglasses meet the end of their life, we'll take those back, we'll collect those from the customer, and we'll recycle them and make a new pair, and we'll pass along a discount to you for your time in sending those back to you.
How will they know?
How would they know what?
How would they know that you will buy them back down in the future, or give them some kind of discount? Like, how will they be aware of that?
Well, so we have all that information on our website. We talk about that in our it's not, so we do warranty our sunglasses for a year. And if you scratch your lenses, I mean, remember, we're wearing sunglasses, so our sunglasses will last as long as we properly take care of them. And people, don't always do that. And so that's I don't think that's in our warranty section on our website. But if there was a fault in manufacturing during that first 12 months, we'll replace the sunglass. But we do talk about our recycle program online, and we do we are in some retailers across the U.S. in Atlanta, Kansas City, a couple of stores in Montana, a store in Denver, Colorado. So our retail partners, I would think like for example, yourself, you purchased your sunglasses for the first time at one of our retail partners in Atlanta, right?
Yes, West Stride.
Yeah, West Stride. So being a customer of theirs, that's not the first time you've been in that store, and it probably won't be the last. And so, in a community-based retail store like that, that's a community. And so, if you had a problem with any of your products, most likely you're going to either reach out to the 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 brand, or you're going to go talk to the person that you bought it from at West Stride, and they'll sort you out. So yeah, we do have that information online, and then if a consumer came in and talked to the retailer about that, we'll also work that deal with the retailer as well.
That sounds great. So, I mean, you're, if I recall right, memory's hazy and everything, given the TBI, but you were what, in 7 total retailers, and they're all running specialty stores, correct?
Right, right. Currently, we're in 7 running specialty stores: West Stride in Atlanta, BP Running Company in Denver. We are in the Running Well stores in the Kansas City and Kansas City metro area. And then we are also selling at the Runner's Edge in Missoula and Bozeman Running Company in Bozeman, Montana. And
Wow.
that's we also look to continue to add retailers throughout the summer. So we expect to see that expand a bit.
Now, what made you start with running store retailers and everything? I remember it was something about where you knew a guy, one of the running stores who was putting on a race, and you needed a product to put in the.
Well, yeah,
Was,
like there's that's I guess in sense a little bit of my community, right? So like my friends, family relationship is in that area of specialization, and so for us it made sense to start there. But I think it's running stores, they do a really good job at educating the consumer on the products that fit that space. And so for us, it made a lot of sense to work with running specialty retailers. The product is great for running, it's great for cycling, it's lightweight, it's impact resistant. We use a handful of different technologies in our lenses, which make the strain on the eyes and the reflection, back reflection easier. And so the product fit for that market. And I think running specialty stores do an excellent job at teaching their customers about products and what's a great fit for them.
yeah, definitely. And it's not like your sunglasses aren't so much like a cycling type sunglass, and so I guess it would be.
Yeah, they're not Blade, right? They're more of a Wayfarer style. When you look at like this traditional glasses people are wearing cycling.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean, but they fit running very well,
Yeah,
and frankly, just driving too.
right, right, right. I mean, they're they're just a great all around glass. And if you're putting on your helmet and your singlet or your onesie and you're hopping on your bike, you're probably also putting on a pair of blades or something that give you more of a full wraparound protection from the sun.
Well, not just that, but protection from getting rocks. It's better protection from catching rocks in your face too if you're in
Yeah,
traffic.
you don't want that.
Are your sunglasses that impact resistant too, like some of the ones, the cycling ones?
Yeah, 100%. And you have to understand that, like, in the U.S., there's a lot of laws and regulations around everything, as we know. So when you're bringing things into the country, or selling things on the shelf, certain things have to meet and pass standards. And optical devices, if you will, are in that category. And so our sunglasses are impact resistant. They're actually, there's a handful of standardized or certified standards, across the world. There's a US standard. And this is, we're talking sunglasses right now. We've got a US standard, we have a European standard, you've got an Australian standard, and there's maybe a couple of others out there. And our lenses meet all of those international standards. So yeah, they are very highly impact resistant. And on top of that, they are 100% UV A, B, and C protection as well.
Yeah, it's definitely great. I know they helped me a lot with being a TBI survivor. I'm one of those people that have light sensitivities as one of my ongoing permanent issues, and so a good pair of sunglasses really does make a difference during the daytime.
Yeah. Yeah, I have sensitive eyes as well. And just, it's always been like that. So I've always have a pair of sunglasses on. And we do try to, or not try, we do have a varying degree of the darkness of the lens tint. So like in the sunglass world, if you're looking at sunglasses online, you're going to see a terminology, usually abbreviated, VLT, which is how much light is transmitted through the lens. And so you're going to see and it can be written two different ways. You're going to generally see a VLT in a small percentage, somewhere between 10 to maybe 35%. And the lower the percentage, the darker the tint of the lens is. And so a lot of sunglasses are generally level 1 tint, which means they're somewhere below the 15% VLT. That's kind of the most common sunglass out there. When you get a little more specialized for trail running or low light or other activities, even like using sunglasses in the snow, skiing, snowboarding, things like that. That's where you're going to be a little more specific with the VLT. Now we do offer a level 2, which is kind of like a medium tint. It's still great for a lot of people. It's something that's 20% tinted is a good daily glass for them. For me personally, in a super sunny condition, I'm like I wear a darker tint. One of the sunglasses that we've got a couple of lenses that have a 10 or 11% VLT, and those are for me pretty good on a super sunny day. Anything really darker than that, those are the things that you're going to wear when you're like mountain climbing or climbing Everest, something that's like a 5% VLT, where it's just like super dark, and you're really trying to protect your eyes from the reflection of the snow and the other surfaces around you. And then we do have a lens that's become quite popular. It's a trail lens. We use a high contrast technology in the lens, which pulls out some of the greens and the browns, which helps you identify trails, routes, things like that a little bit more. It's our volcanic style. And that, because it is a trail lens, and generally you're going to be wearing that somewhat under a canopy, that lens is around the 30% VLT range.
That's definitely, so that's pretty dark.
Other way, remember, higher percentage lighter, lower percentage darker. So it's lighter.
Oh, same way as window tint.
Right, exactly. And the window tint, they're talking about VLT also. If you go back and look at window tint, you're gonna buy it by the VLT, the percentage of darkness.
Yeah, because 5% window tint is like basically pitch black.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you say, for instance, if you do have 5% window tint and you're wearing your darkest sunglasses, how bad is that? Like, can you see very well? Would you say?
Yeah, it's like I probably wouldn't advise that. Although, you're not putting window tint on the front of your windshield, hopefully.
Yeah, it's illegal.
Right, but still looking out. I mean, that would be really dark. A 5% VLT lens is not a common lens that people are going to wear daily. That someone's going to wear that lens if they're climbing a mountain and there's a lot of snow on the ground, or they're doing, something where there's a lot of light coming off the surfaces around them. Typically snow, water, stuff like that.
Yeah, I was going to say, because 5% window tint on cars is actually very common in Atlanta.
Yeah, I mean, we have a 10% VLT lens. in an 11%, and then the rest of ours are like 13 to 16. But you look at, some of the other brands that are out there that are very technologically focused on their lenses. And some of those brands do have a couple of styles that are, 8% VLT. But again, that's something that's very specialized. Generally speaking, sunglasses can be confusing for a lot of people. And a lot of people, I don't think we buy sunglasses based on the look or based on the brand. Sunglasses for a lot of people are more fashion than they are function. And so we either like look past the technology in the sunglass and we buy it for that fashion sense, or we're a super technical person and we're, I don't know, running sled dogs in Alaska for the first time, and we know we need darker sunglasses, so we're going to go out and do some research and find the one that's best for our task at hand.
Yeah, sled dogs in Alaska. That's definitely
I don't know where that came from, but that would be fun.
I mean, it could be fun, but so what do you want to do with your company coming in the future?
Well, we're going to continue to we're going to continue to move forward with our business as it is now, or how it is now. We are going to continue to expand in the running specialty store area. We are working on some new colors. I've got an idea for another frame that we'll add probably into next year, using the same sustainable materials that we're using currently in our frames today, but also adding some other exciting sustainable materials, which I won't talk about because, again, it's something that no one's doing, and I think it's going to be really neat if we can build it. And so that's our values as a company is to create sustainable products that are circular in the manufacturing economy, meaning we've found waste, we take the waste, we make our product, the sunglass, we use it, and then at the end of it, we reuse it. And so we're taking trash off the ground, building with it, putting it out in the marketplace for consumers to enjoy, and then consumers give it back to us for us to make it again, and just kind of keep it in that cycle. So we need to make sure that with whatever we roll out, that our product fits that cycle. But we also need to make sure that we're building things that are attainable for most people. And I've said this a couple of times already in our chat here. If we're really going to tackle climate change and cleaning the world up, products that are better for the earth need to be accessible to everybody. And a lot of people, can't afford to walk in to the stores that sell sustainable goods, regardless of what it is: sunglasses, t-shirts, things that you eat, because the media sensation has made it seem like all those things are a premium and they should cost more money. But the reality is, for a lot of things, it doesn't cost much more to make or grow or build something that's sustainable. It's brands and companies taking advantage of the emotion that we feel when we talk about sustainable versus a non-sustainable product. It's the brands and the companies taking advantage of that and making more money. In fact, we have some content on our website, a handful of different articles that we've written, and one of those talks about that, and it even breaks down the price markup between a conventional item in a handful of different categories. And this is independent research that was done by a third party using Nielsen data. and it compares a handful of different categories where you've got a conventional item and then you have a sustainable item, and what the markup is versus what the average cost of manufacturing, building, growing that sort of product is. And so we're not those people. We really do want to leave the earth in a better place. We enjoy the outdoors, like in our personal time. That's what we do. We're outside. Why are we in running stores? Because that's our community. Those are the people that we interact with on a daily basis. And and I would imagine a lot of your viewers or subscribers are those types of people too. So they get that. They understand what we're feeling when I'm saying that. And so, if we're really going to change the planet, things that are better for the planet need to be accessible to everybody. And so that's a really big thing for us. We should sell our sunglasses for more money. When you look at how you price it up, when you build an item, and how do you price it? So you sit down with the accountant and you say, here's what it costs to make it. What should our target price be? And you look at the accounting methods that go into that. We didn't follow that rule. We're okay putting something out there that we know is going to leave the planet in a better place. And we'll continue to do that with our products as we move forward. It's a big thing for us. I wish more brands would hop on board with that, same sentiment that we have with our brand. It's becoming pretty tough for a lot of people right now, and things aren't getting any cheaper. And what we see in the news, if you follow companies' financials, is, you've got a lot of companies crying that things are too expensive, but they're making more money than they've ever made.
Yeah, I can tell by the price of gas that's happening. So, man, last question I'm going to get you out on here, man, is you don't have a whole, well, I don't know what you would consider a lot of styles, but are you going to be coming out with more styles of sunglasses?
When you say styles, you mean the frame design, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. We will. Like, understand. Like, we launched our brand. Our brand. We built our brand during COVID, and it wasn't really COVID that required it or that prompted us to build a brand. That was just more of a coincidence in the world that was going on when this happened. And so, this year we've really been focused on partnering with retailers, getting our product out there, getting it familiar with people. And then as we move forward into next year and the years beyond, yeah, absolutely. Like I mentioned earlier, there's a style that I'm working on currently that I'm not gonna really tell you guys what it completely looks like. You'll have to wait for that. Okay. But yeah, we want to, I want to, one of my favorite brands is Oakley. A lot of people like Oakley. I like Oakley for a couple of reasons. And the main reason is they're really pioneers when it comes to lens technologies and sports styling. You think back, when I think back when I was a little kid, the eye jackets, for example. We're not going to make an eye jacket, but they came out with some really crazy styles that people just loved, and I think that's great. And I think we would like to be able to do that at some point too. Not making a crazy eye jacket, but let's take a look at some of the classic designs that are out there and how can we reinvent those using sustainable materials that fit in our circular manufacturing cycle.
I still have a pair of those eye jackets somewhere in here.
They're great. Yeah, and like they're yeah, I mean, if you look at the old ones from like the 90s, and they've even reinvented them or have redone them, revamped them, I guess you will.
I have these that I have to repair too.
Yeah.
I found these in my old car.
Yeah.
I was more of the simpler type of frame. Eye jackets were just a little bit on that edge where it's like, okay, these are cool, but nothing more,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Cycling and triathlon frames now, that's just not my style. I like more simplistic.
I'm with you. I wore some of those crazy ones when I was younger. Um, I don't know that I would. It's not my style anymore. They're cool. Maybe I would maybe collect them, but I don't really need to hold on to more stuff.
Definitely, definitely, especially since you're always in between countries.
Yeah, yeah,
Well, hey, Matt, thanks for joining me. I appreciate it.
yeah. Absolutely. Thanks for having me, Eric.
Best of luck. Take it easy.
Okay, we'll chat soon. Have a good one.